What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today, we're going to talk about Ho'oponopono. It is one of the topics that I get asked about the most as both a yoga teacher and spiritual coach, if you will. So, if you're curious about Ho'oponopono, how you can use it to change your life, to shift your life, stay tuned. So I'm going to talk mostly about self-identity, Ho'oponopono. This one is taught by Dr. Haleakala Hugh Len and Joe Vitale. I don't know that I'm necessarily saying his last name correctly, but this is kind of a different ish spin on traditional Ho'oponopono, which required a kahuna and family, and it was a whole process. Self-identity Ho'oponopono is basically you're taking responsibility for every single thing in your life that you've created. So everything around you, everything that's happening outside of you, what seems to be out of your control, politicians, like everything is your creation. That's the premise behind this. Okay. Now, Dr. Hugh Len actually worked at a mental hospital for the criminally insane in Hawaii and never once saw his patients. He didn't do diagnostic testing. He's a psychologist, by the way. None of that stuff. A lot of the people who worked with him too made it sound like he would just come in and kind of like do nothing, when in fact he was doing everything. So essentially what he did was every single chart, every single person in that he was unit, basically saying, this, how am I creating this? Where is my contribution to this? So I'm going to go in a little bit deeper here, okay? Because this is when I first took the training, this was back during the pandemic. I was only so far along on my spiritual path, and Ho'oponopono is such a fantastic tool because you can use this just even if you're not like super into the subconscious and all of those things like myself. You might find that this is really helpful to just help clear your energy. So back then, when I got trained in this, I was only just beginning to scratch the surface of subconscious. I could go on and on about the subconscious, okay, but to keep things relatively short and to keep your attention, if we were to look at the subconscious as like a shared energy field between people, basically you are connected with everyone and everything. All right. And subconsciously, you might come in with past life experiences. When I say come in, I mean come into this body, come into this time space reality with past life experiences that are lingering in the subconscious. Also, let's talk about family upbringing, the messages you received as a child, about your worth, your value. Every single thing that happened in your environment, consciously or not, your subconscious was recording. Okay. And then it also is your attractor in a sense. So what you are subconsciously emitting, it's sort of like a record player, okay, constantly emitting a signal, a vibration, if you will, and the universe is responding. When I say the universe, now you are the universe in human form. I can't stress that enough, all right? But you're co-creating this thing. So for instance, I'm going to share with you what I do. One of the things that I do. It's really challenging for me right now politically. You may or may, we can agree to disagree, whatever. To me, this isn't even about politics. This is about human rights and social justice. And I'm a big like underdog kind of gal. So when I get on like TikTok, for example, and I'm scrolling through and then I'm getting more and more annoyed or irate at the world happenings, right? I used to really just get kind of sucked into it and just like, like resist, fight against it. And in a sense, I still am, but I'm just doing it in a different way. So if I'm looking at this collectively, if I'm looking at what's been created collectively, instead of latching on to the problem, my perception of the problem, because not everybody sees what's happening as a problem. We can agree on that. Yeah. Some people want this. I don't understand it. You may not understand it. Maybe it's not for me to understand, right? But if we're all connected, I'm a part of it. And that's been really challenging for me in a lot of ways. So, the best thing that I can do is anytime that situations are brought into my awareness, this is an opportunity to clear, or as Dr. Hugh Len calls it, clean. Clean, clean, clean. You clean your vibration, you clean your subconscious mind, you clean that of other people simply by cleaning up your own stuff, right? If you are not one to want to be like responsible, you want to keep externalizing your experiences, this is probably going to feel really triggering for you. And this video is not for you. Okay. Yeah, this is truly for people who are like, first of all, wanting to understand what self-identity Ho'oponopono is, and second of all, who want to shift their life, because you can absolutely shift your life. You can shift the life of those around you. Ho'oponopono is so powerful, okay? And it's a Hawaiian prayer. It's 4 sentences. Now, I have seen this written countless ways. I think all that matters, I don't necessarily think the way you say it or the order in which you say it matters so much as opposed to just saying it. So I always say, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Okay. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Now, let's talk about these things. I love you. You are essentially telling the divine, I love you. You are telling your higher self, I love you. If you ever follow anything Gabby Bernstein talks about, A Course in Miracles talks about, God is love. All right. It is your natural state. Love is your natural vibration. That is where you came from and where you will return to when you go home. Okay. Love. I love you. So you are saying it to yourself, because going back to Gabby Bernstein in A Course in Miracles, she talks about the error, our error. Some would call it, if you read like the traditional Bible, sin. The sin is in your thinking. When you are thinking anything other than love or loving, to yourself, to others, subconsciously, consciously, you name it, it's an error according to higher consciousness. I hope what I'm saying is making sense. I'm trying to make as much sense as I can. Sorry, there's like a hair bugging me. I'm trying to make as much sense as I can. This is just such a layered topic. And as I'm doing my dissertation on this, by the way, so I'm getting a doctorate in metaphysical sciences. And I think it might be a bit easier for me to write and talk about, but I hope what I'm saying is making sense. So then we move into, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Okay. We are not asking for forgiveness from others. We are not even asking God. God already forgives you. There's no getting around that. God, source, universe, creator, whatever you want to refer to, that beautiful divine intelligence that is in every single one of us, it already forgives you. Okay. You're not asking for something outside of you. You're asking for it within you, for that erroneous thinking, for that erroneous way of believing, for your erroneous assumptions. Okay. We're trying to make it right, make it loving, make it kind. So when you're saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, this is a plea to your inner self, your higher self, even if you want to call it that. And then thank you, which is the expression of gratitude. Thank you for the clearing, the cleaning, right? So let's talk about how this applies to the subconscious, because the law of assumption states that what we assume to be true, what we believe or assume to be true, is what manifests. And we can assume and believe this on a conscious level. We can assume and believe on a subconscious level. Our life will be shaped by those mostly by subconscious beliefs. It's responsible for about 95 to 99% of what you create in your life, for what happens to you in life. It's a subconscious thing. So if I am going to clear, let's say I have a deep subconscious assumption and maybe wound around betrayal. All right. So I'm constantly in situations, or I find myself in situations where I am getting betrayed. Right. Of course, I can look at this and say, okay, where am I betraying myself? All right. That's some mirror work for you. But if I'm doing the inner work and I'm looking at okay, let's stay true to ourselves. Let's keep that Queen of Swords energy. Let's stay in alignment with what I value, my value system, right? but this is still kind of happening, or it's still mirrored to me in some way, shape, or form, then that tells me that there's still some subconscious things happening. Now, of course, I'm a big proponent of subliminals, of robotically affirming, and here's why. When we robotically affirm, we change the record player in the subconscious, because you've been robotically affirming for things your entire life, whether you realize it or not. Okay. The words you speak have power. Your subconscious is listening. Your conscious mind is saying, we're broke, we're broke, we're broke, we're broke, we're broke. And so your subconscious is like, sure, we're broke. Let's create more of that. You know, it doesn't really care either way. It's truly a neutral vibration. And it's you who is calling the shots. I hope you're still following me. So in terms of Ho'oponopono, Dr. Hugh Len puts that prayer, those 4 sentences, basically on repeat in his mind all day, every day. He robotically affirms, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And what I have found in doing this as well is that I'm noticing there's a lot of other memories coming up that I had forgotten about, suppressed, didn't want to look at. And instead of shoving them back down into my subconscious, or not really even knowing what to do with these, even inner child work still, it helps. You can go back to that younger version of you and love on you and all of those things, right? But if you want to clear it, you truly clear it and get back in touch with your divinity, that clean slate, Ho'oponopono is the way to go. So again, let's repeat. Ho'oponopono is a process of self-purification. And in my humble opinion, a purification of your subconscious mind. Because if your subconscious is continuously attracting things, wouldn't you want it to be in the highest vibration of love? I'm going to use another example here. I am what I would consider to be a twin flame. All right. I'm a divine feminine. My divine masculine and I have had a rough go of it, to say the least. Okay. I'm going to show you 2 different stories. Okay. The first story is he did a lot of things that hurt me. A lot. I mean, it wasn't like abusive physically. There was some emotional abuse though. Now, not consciously. I think once he became conscious of that stuff, of course it's stopped. But at the time of our meeting, we were both very unconscious in a lot of ways. Okay. So I can tell you this one side of the story, the part of me that blames. Okay. He did a lot of things that hurt me. He betrayed me. He lied to me. He fumbled me. Okay. Long story short. Now, my self-identity, the one that can look at this and say, yeah, I can see how I created this. Okay. On a subconscious level, betrayal. That is a strong theme for me. I was betrayed, I feel, by my mother, by my father. And if we want to talk about our earliest formation of love and the way we attach and all of that stuff, okay, I can look at this and say, yeah, I can see why subconsciously I created this version of him. Not a fan of it, by the way. So then I'm like, okay, I've done a lot of inner child healing. I've done a lot of healing around my attachment wounds. Still come and go with that one. And yet there are still moments where I'm noticing old patterns continuously playing out. Or, if we're looking at the world around me, or if I'm looking at me as a veteran even, and feeling deeply betrayed by our country, it's a big theme for me still, right? So then I'm like, okay, well, this is still there. Clearly, this theme of betrayal is still there. What else can I do to help my subconscious let this go? Enter Ho'oponopono. Okay. I keep that prayer on repeat in my mind all day, every day, just like Dr. Hugh Len. And like I said, I've noticed that as I do it, not only am I clearing or cleaning the past version of my twin who showed up with that subconscious theme that I had running unknowingly and played his part the way that I basically instructed him to do, because law of assumption states everyone is you pushed out. Okay. So now every time those memories come up, the hurt, the pain, all of the things he did wrong, what am I doing? I'm cleaning it. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm not saying it to him. I'm saying it to me. I'm saying it to me for creating the version of him who showed up in that way. Again, some of you aren't going to like this. That's okay. You don't have to. You could just scroll, keep on keeping on. So anyway, Ho'oponopono, self-identity Ho'oponopono is truly about making things right within you, within your self. I call this channel Sovereign Reality for a reason, because you are, I truly feel you are the most powerful person in your own life. You can create anything you want to create for yourself. You don't believe me? That's okay. I don't need you to, because there's a science to this as well. If you ever read The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton, your cells, I mean, everything about you is so powerful. And what you say to yourself is so powerful. And what your subconscious mind has recorded is so powerful. So if you want to be sovereign in your own life, there is a part of you that does have to take some responsibility for how things have played out. I'm not going to get into other aspects of this. Okay. This is also a part of my dissertation when I'm talking about your Chiron, which is in your natal chart, your soul wound, and how that plays a part as well, I feel, in the subconscious realm. Okay. Obviously, things that happen to you in childhood, they're not your fault. Okay. They're not. But again, maybe at some point I will talk about the Chiron wound and the subconscious and Ho'oponopono as well, because I feel like I said, I'm on to something with that. But it's never your fault. Okay. But what can be done now is the cleaning of your subconscious mind so that you can keep moving forward in your life in a way that feels empowering, and that you can keep attracting things that feel good and feel, in alignment with where you're going and not where you were. And this isn't to say that it's going to get rid of all your problems and you'll just be, living the vida loca. I mean, maybe you will be, but it is to say that when those problems come up, okay, it's an opportunity to clean. All right. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Anytime someone else is sharing their problems with you is an opportunity to clean. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you, because you're co-creating it. It's an opportunity. So the more of us who are doing this Ho'oponopono, the better, because we are bringing in that vibration of love. We are bringing heaven to earth, just as Jesus had intended. Okay, Jesus said in the Bible. Obviously, I think many of us know that the Bible is a loose translation of something. Anyway, I think that's all that I wanted to share about this today. If you like this video, can you please let me know? Just leave a comment or give this video a like, or give this video a like, and let me know if you know what Ho'oponopono is, if you use it in your day-to-day. And yeah, I feel like if you're watching this, then clearly we're vibing. So welcome. Welcome to your sovereign reality. Anyway, I think that's it. Okay, real quick, I have 2 more things to add. Okay, this is a little PS before I let you go entirely. First one being, earlier in the video, I talked about Dr. Hewlin and his work at the Hawaii State Penitentiary for the criminally insane, and how he never actually saw his patients face to face. He only did Ho'oponopono, and everybody was healed. There, as far as I know, I think that penitentiary is now closed down. But if you read the book Zero Limits by Joe Vitale and then Dr. Hewlin, you'll get more of the information on that. So it's really fascinating. But I think it just goes to show the power of Ho'oponopono. Okay. The other thing I want to mention is this: Ho'oponopono is what gets you at what he calls zero state. So Dr. Hewlin suggests that we are either operating from memory or we are operating from inspiration. A lot of times we are just operating from memory because we have that the subconscious kind of playing out. Okay. When we are operating from inspiration, it is because our subconscious mind, our soul, our higher self is able to receive downloads a little bit easier, right? Or even prompt you to do things that you might be putting off or that you've never thought of before. You get that divine inspiration. All right, you're acting from inspiration instead of memory. So I wanted to touch upon that as well. I rewatched the video as I'm editing and I'm like, shoot, I forgot to say this and I forgot to say that. So my apologies. I just get so carried away when I'm sharing. I just love sharing with you guys. It's so much fun for me. Truly, because I know how life-changing it's been for myself. So, for instance, I was having a major hang up with my master's thesis, and I've been doing Ho'oponopono, like I said, just consistently over and over and over. And yesterday I wrote the whole thing in about 2 days, and submitted it yesterday, and it feels so good. So now I get to move on to my dissertation, which I already know what I want to write about. And that is just amazing. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you too before you go. As always, I am sending you so much love and I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Namaste.